People of Earth, how are you? We're back. My name is Al. Across the table from me is my friend Joe. Hi, Joe.
Al, how are you tonight?
I'm feeling a little introspective.
You seem a little introspective.
I don't know what I am. I'm happy. I'll tell you that. I'm one of these guys who can't walk through life and be unaffected. You know what I mean? I'm sensitive and I think about stuff and I can't shut it off. You know what I mean? That's why I smoke a lot of fucking pot right before bed, so my brain stops. You know what I mean?
So I got a feeling this Judge Kavanaugh getting in has just got you all upset.
I was so highly entertained by that. I tried to call you on set. Did you work Saturday? I tried to call you. I don't know if you saw. I called. I emailed. I texted.
I saw a text later on.
I'm like, fuck, man.
And a few calls.
I wanted to do a show right then. Plus, I had a morning's worth of Bloody Marys and fucking beers, and you know what I mean. By the time it was 1:30, 2 o'clock, I was fucking feeling good and getting ready to watch. I watched it from like that 2 o'clock on. Right up until fucking I went to bed at like 9 or 10 o'clock. It was awesome. It was just civics at work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love it. I loved it. I loved every minute of it. I still can't explain to you exactly. I know one lady abstained. 2 people must have abstained because only 98 of them voted. You know what I mean? Or did they get to the point? Well, yeah, no. Somebody must have abstained. Because if it was 51-48, you go, all right, they can't win.
So it was 48.
Oh, no, 50-48. Yeah, all right. Now I know what happened.
So there's 98 people, right?
So that's who voted, but there's 100 senators.
No, I understand. So 98 people voted, so 2 didn't vote.
Yeah, I heard one of them who didn't vote, and she was a Democrat. She would have voted against him, but she abstained. Oh.
Why did she abstain?
Oh, because her fellow, that was it, and I don't remember which state it was, but the woman's a Democrat, and her colleague, the other senator from her state, is a male Republican, and he could not be there because he was walking his daughter down the aisle.
So they canceled each other out.
So they canceled each other out anyway. She abstained.
Yeah.
She said he was going to vote for, and I was going to vote for against. I'm abstaining because he's not here. And so it would have been 51-49. That's what it was. So that person's a good sport. You know what I mean?
They're not all terrible.
No. Well, one Democrat voted for him. And a couple of fucking... one Republican voted against.
That's Joe Manchin.
From West Virginia, right?
Yeah.
It's barely a Democratic state.
I don't think he's not really much of a Democrat.
He's moderate.
His daughter owns the
biggest dildo in the world.
No, his daughter runs that company that jacked up the price of the fucking EpiPen by 400%.
Oh, really?
Or 4 times. That's what 400% means.
She'll probably go to hell if there is one.
Well, she was making $6 million a year, and apparently that wasn't enough. So
yeah,
she made like $20 million when she jacked up the
old EpiPen.
Well, for some reason, somehow her little pharmaceutical firm, and whether it's Pennsylvania or West Virginia, ended up with the only EpiPens. You know, this is 100-year-old technology here. So nobody at that pharmaceutical company is fucking reinventing the wheel.
Right.
And because they bought the last company that was, or bought the pens from the last.
They bought it all up.
So I believe she should be fucking executed.
Right. Yeah, I didn't make that connection.
Kid should be killed too.
Right.
You know what, Al? Here's the thing.
Go ahead, Joe.
Now, Real Clear Politics is just a website that gathers the news of the day from all the various fucking papers and, you know.
They republish already published news.
Yeah.
They report.
So I look at it and I'm just going to read this.
Kind of like the fucking YouPorn of fucking news.
The Democrats' Little Bighorn. That's by Patrick Buchanan.
Okay.
All right,
National
in
Review.
the American Conservative.
Okay.
Blue wave could be start of a progressive sea change. Katrina vanden Heuvel. Washington Post.
Oh boy.
So they let her, because she is the editor of The Nation. So they let her write an op-ed in the Washington Post.
Okay.
Is unhinged mob rule really the democracy we want? That could be somewhere in the middle. How Nikki Haley played the White House game and won. That's from Vox.
Oh, she's announced that she's resigning at the end of the calendar year.
Susan Collins' finest hour. That's Cal Thomas in the Washington Times. That's a right-wing
Conservative.
conservative. Kavanaugh officially killed the Never Trump movement. Matt Lewis, Daily Beast. That one could be in the middle.
Yeah.
So I found two in the middle. McConnell has done grave damage to all three branches of government. That's from Paul Begala.
Oh God.
From Begala and the fucking snakehead who got Bill Clinton elected.
I mean, at least Snakehead's entertaining. Begala's just a fucking slime.
With that cheetah smile.
He's just.
Don't you love that cheetah
You
smile?
know what he reminds me of? A snail out of its shell.
He looks like he should be fucking drowned. Taylor Swift
he's
is
slimy.
wrong.
Yeah.
Doesn't really belong there.
Wow.
Oh, here's a beauty. This is in the New York Times.
Go ahead.
How do I explain Justice Kavanaugh to
my children.
daughters? New climate report reveals planetary horror story.
I can explain it to your daughters, and very simply, and without blue language.
The woman's lying through her fucking teeth.
Somebody made an accusation, and nobody corroborated it. Not anybody corroborated it.
And this thing is fascinating to me, how these people, like, how do I explain it to your daughters? Well, you dumb fucking cunt.
Right.
Tell your daughters
I was attempting not
that
to use
when
that language.
you're going to accuse somebody and try to ruin their life, if you're going to accuse them of sexually harassing you,
The truth usually wins out.
that maybe you ought to know where it took place, when it took place, how you got there, how you got home. You don't lie about that you're afraid to fly, which is the reason she said she didn't want to come to Washington. She wanted someone to come to California, which they said that they would do.
Right.
You don't say, these people were here, and then the FBI goes and interviews these people that you say is there, and they turn around and say, we have one, including your friend,
Right.
still a friend today, who says, I have no idea what she's talking about.
Right.
This is how you explain it to your daughters, you fucking moron.
I think you just tell them the truth generally wins out, like 99% of the time. And this was not the 1% of the time where the truth doesn't work out.
Well,
some guys in
it's
jail
this.
who are awaiting the death sentence, maybe.
You know, it's just a. This, of course, is not. I understand there is not a monolith of women, but these types of women are fucking. These types of women are wildly dangerous in the sense that, you know, we don't all live in a fucking, you know, maybe this Jennifer Weiner who wrote this thing, and it's probably Anthony Weiner. Who knows? Maybe she's a fucking lesbian or something. But is this really how we want to treat the males in our society? We want to, yeah, of course, if somebody comes out with an accusation, you should listen to it. And if she's got corroboration and other people are coming out.
Right.
But this woman had no corroboration. And
Zero.
She fucking made no sense. This is something this has been killing you for 36 years since the day it happened. You don't remember what fucking day it is?
Right.
You don't remember who gave you a ride home or how you got home or who you walked with to get home?
By the way, she's not exactly a licensed clinical psychologist either.
Oh, yeah, she lied about that.
Yeah.
But she is 100% sure that she only had one beer, but she can't remember where the house was. You would think you would have that fucking house
Well, it
number
was in
ingrained
Bethesda.
in your head.
I heard
this is so tragic of a thing.
I heard someone say, well, she said it was in Bethesda. Right. There's a lot of houses in Bethesda, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, they said that she doesn't even remember the neighborhood. Bethesda's a little bit bigger than a neighborhood.
It's not her.
It's a fucking village.
I already did the last podcast I did.
Yeah,
called her a lion cunt. She is. But it's these people that are just, they're overwhelmed. And I mean, okay, so if you have a son, do you want him to be accused of by somebody like this who's got fucking no credibility?
Can you imagine the torture these people are going to go through for the next 6 years? Republicans are going to hold on to control in a couple weeks. And then Ruth Bader Ginsburg is going to fucking croak. And they're going to bring in that fucking Amy Coney Barrett or whatever her name is, who is really, and I can't wait to see what they do to her. Women are vitriolic against men. Wait till the women get a hold of this woman. You know what I mean?
She's going to have to find some guy that she sexually harassed.
No. What they're going to do is just say she's a religious nut because she admits that she actually lets her spirituality guide her into figuring out if something's constitutional or not.
Here's Michael D'Antonio from CNN.
Yeah.
Trumpism is winning, and it's terrifying.
Why is it terrifying, Michael?
Because Michael probably sucks dick.
Yeah.
Although I don't know, Trump doesn't care.
Which,
whether
by
you
the
suck
way,
dick.
doesn't make you a bad guy, Mike, and Trump doesn't think so either.
Because it's terrifying to Michael.
Because I'm going to go out on a limb.
Because it's not Barack Obama that's president anymore. The
golden child?
Yeah, the guy that's just
the
best president ever.
So another thing I did after you didn't answer the phone, I made the mistake of signing back into my Facebook that I had managed to stay away from for 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
And I just posted every meme that I could find about Hillary being an asshole and Bill Clinton and all the left-wing fucking hypocrites. I found a couple good ones about Barack. One of them was like a fucking an old-fashioned wanted poster, and it said, "Hey, this is the face of the guy who, brought back racial fucking discord in America," or whatever, I also found a video of him when he was a young man. I'm going to say it was probably even before he was a state senator, where he was talking about all the shit he did as a youth. You know what I mean? The drugs and all that shit, Because, God forbid, Brett Kavanaugh and his buddies have a few beers in college. You know what I mean? I like how they tried. They really were trying to fucking lean on that one a little bit too, and it didn't happen.
Well, there was some
every one of those
senator,
people are drunks.
I didn't watch.
And Chuck Schumer's a cunt, by the way, the biggest cunt out of all of them. Mistreating airline attendant. Fucking Chuck, you suck. Sorry, buddy.
No, not at all.
I'm just pointing out. And then Dianne Feinstein.
I'm listening to you.
Dianne Feinstein, a video of her just popped up today from early in her senatehood or whatever the fuck you call it. Her senatorship, 94. I don't know how long, but, she didn't look like she got hit by a fucking bus anyway. She's fucking ugly. But this was got hit by a bus, Dianne Feinstein. Speaking about how, and I quote, I'm not fucking hyperbolizing. She said, illegal immigrants are leches, and they need to be not let into the country. That I just paraphrased. But she said illegal immigrants are leches. She didn't say some of them.
Right around what year was this?
94. So I'm thinking that was at the beginning or right before she got elected. I mean, I can look that up.
She's been in for 26 years.
So that would be 92. All right. So she was into her. So she wasn't even
Well, that's what she really
it.
believed at the time.
So you think she changed her mind?
I believe that. I was talking to Bill, and Bill, of course, doesn't follow any of this shit. And I said, but he follows enough. And I said, Bill, it's not. See, I don't want to call them liberals. I want to call them left-wing crazies because they're not liberals and they're not Democrats. Whatever these people are, these people that are pushing everybody to this crazy left. You know, you got to think about it. There are people in San Francisco, I mean, public officials in San Francisco that thinks it's more important to protect illegal immigrants than it is to take care of the citizens that live there.
It's bizarre.
I mean, I find that. It's
bizarre.
So fucking strange.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
I mean,
it's
is there
strange.
any other country where that happens?
Yeah, you know what? I mean, my European, I always talk about it. I know it gets boring to you and everyone else. My experience in Europe is mostly in Holland, which is a socialist, fucking semi-socialist place, all right?
Yeah.
And for a while there, even because now they got a fucking, not xenophobic, but they got a fucking slightly isolationist fucking dude in charge over there after so many years of fucking just letting everyone the fuck in and paying for them.
Well, because they're having problems.
Yeah, they're having problems. France is particularly bad. I hear Spain is not doing particularly well in that area either. So to answer you asked a rhetorical question. There are other places, but they're all fucking, they were worse off than we've ever been because they had open fucking borders. Especially since the whole fucking European Union / Euro, the currency goes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That just literally opened up fucking where you used to have to drive through a fucking guard check. There's none of that. There's none of that. If you belong in the EU, there's no. Sometimes you gotta, if you're on a federally tolled highway, yeah.
Yeah, there's no more borders anywhere.
They will check. Like I'm thinking going from Holland into Belgium, Holland into Germany, no nothing. But going from Germany into Austria, oh, that's why. Because if you are driving a vehicle from outside of Austria, ahead of time you have to either pay for the sticker to drive around for how long you're going to be there.
Yeah.
Or you got to buy one when you come in. And it kind of.
So this is just they want the money.
They want the money. So, but still, it's a government thing in Austria. And that's kind of an impressive setup, as I recall. By the way, Austria is beautiful. It is non-tropical paradise. Non-tropical paradise.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I'm pointing at you, but
Ira and Kerry went there and had pictures.
And
it looks beautiful.
And I didn't even make it to the Alps, I don't think. Unless the whole place is the Alps. But, man, I spent 8 days in Austria 7 years ago, whatever the fuck it was. And
it looks beautiful, and I'm still not going.
Yeah, no. It's a bitch to get to, brother. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to fly to Zurich, that's a 9-hour fucking flight. You know what I mean? I flew to Amsterdam and then drove to shit. It's a lesser city. It's not Vienna. It's not Zurich. It's fuck. I can't remember the name of it. God damn it. That's awful. But anyway, it's a wonderful place.
There's a new comedian.
I know I'm all over the place, everybody. I'm sorry.
You don't have to be sorry.
You know what? Joe fucking canceled last minute last Thursday, and I had a lot to talk about. That's why I was like,
you can't remember.
And well, no, it's all right. Well, no, we do at current events, whatever's going on. But I don't come prepared with shit written down anymore. I'm prepared. That's why. Oh, and then I faked you out after we didn't get together Saturday, and almost had you believing I'd be here Sunday. Excepting I slept all day. Sunday was awesome, by the way.
What'd you do?
I literally got up a little late for me. I got up at 7. I usually wake up at 5, 6, 5:30, 6 o'clock. I woke up at 7, had myself a couple Bloody Marys, breakfast, watched the soccer game. Took a little snoozy pie.
Yeah.
Got up. There was another game on at 11:30 I wanted to see. Fucking watched that. And then I was on this thing, and I wasn't back on Facebook yet, but one thing I always check is I get my news from Yahoo's news page. That's fucking weird, I know. But everyone's got to get the news somewhere. And it said, live now, Kavanaugh hearings.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up putting that on the laptop live on, because Yahoo's cool now. I mean, Yahoo and YouTube. YouTube streams live shit now. I don't know if you knew that. You can stream CBS News or anything. So,
yes.
So I had that going, and then I watched a little bit more soccer, and
they're trying to do something with
and
Yahoo.
I wanted to. I did want to come over, and then I texted you, and then I ended up falling back asleep, and that was Saturday though. With all that Sunday, you asked me what I did. That's right. I ate, drank, and slept all day. That's my short answer. Sorry, buddy.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, right up until I called you back at like 8:30.
Hey.
Sorry I threw you a curveball, buddy.
Last night I watched a new comedy special. This guy was hilarious.
Yeah.
And his name is Mo Amer, but that stands for something. His first name is Mohammed.
Okay. Just like Mo Salah on Liverpool Football Club. Go ahead.
And he's not a citizen yet. Although he doesn't look like he's old enough, apparently he was in Kuwait, and this was part of the first Gulf War.
He was an American soldier?
No. He was living in Kuwait.
Oh, all right.
He and his family.
All right. So he's a younger guy than me, say.
Yeah.
Because all those guys who were soldiers then are my age already.
Well, they're 90. It's 92.
From the Gulf War. Yeah.
92.
I had a bunch of buddies who were there.
91, 92. So this
Most
guy
of them
looks
were
too young.
MPs.
He must have been a little kid or something.
Yeah. So he's
And
probably around
he
late
and
30s.
his sister and his mom, I don't know what happened to the dad, went to Baghdad.
Baghdad.
After the Americans. No, wait a minute. How does this work? They went to Baghdad and got into Jordan. And then they got the fuck out and they came to the United States. And this guy was really funny. Just really funny.
Was he heavily accented or no?
No, not at all.
Yeah, so he's an American.
Speaks. I mean, I think he can speak. People think he lives in Houston.
Yeah.
So people think he's Hispanic. So he learned how to speak a little Spanish.
Do we know if he's a citizen? Or does he have a green card?
I think that he said he's not a citizen.
He probably has a green card.
He's got asylum papers.
Oh, okay. Oh, so he's a refugee.
Well, yeah, because I mean he was a leftover of that Kuwait horror show.
I got you.
Saddam Hussein went in and
so he is Kuwaiti. Or
I think so.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure.
Kuwait was burning then, by the way.
Oh yeah,
the country, as small as it is,
well,
it was,
and the Iraqis were raping everybody.
It was
and
literally hell on earth,
right,
for a few days until we liberated them.
This guy,
and then we did liberate them. By the way,
very happy to be in the United States.
He should be. It's the greatest. I was going to say
he seems
earlier.
To be very happy to be here.
The United States is the greatest country on earth now and ever and fucking forever.
But he,
God bless the United States of America.
But it was good. This is great PR because he took on every stereotype. He said, "Well, now my name's Muhammad, and my last name is blah 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 blah."
Right.
And he's like, I know. I don't have a bomb or anything.
Yeah.
But he was talking about how he could understand why someone would want to bomb like the fucking RMV or the DMV. But he was hilarious. And it's a good, what I'm trying to get at is we need more guys like this to promote the good side of Islam. Because of course not all of people that are Islamic are fucking terrorists. Of course they're not. We know that.
No, but all the terrorists are Islamic.
Well, all the terrorists.
Sorry to point that out, Dave. I mean,
all
Dan.
The terrorists that are coming from other countries today, because we have plenty of domestic terrorism. Meaning guys with mentally ill people.
There's not
with
a lot of
machine guns.
Not a lot of Timothy McVeighs out there right now, man.
No, but
Or Ted Kaczynski.
We're talking about school shooting shit. There's fucking people dying in a hail of bullets
Can I just say
every month.
Can I just say that when I think terrorism, I think politically motivated. I don't think any of those guys mowing down students. You can take that. No, it's not mine.
It's not?
No, I don't wear warm clothing. Oh, that is mine. Sorry. That's from the other night. Shit. When I think terrorism, I think it's politically motivated, and I know that that's not necessarily how it has to be. So I know what you're saying about those crazy guys with guns mowing down people at schools. I don't consider them terrorists. I just consider them fucked.
Nuts.
They're just nuts.
Well, I never thought of
Timothy
it that way.
McVeigh was a terrorist.
It's domestic terrorism, I guess. But you know what? It's not really terrorism.
No, it's not.
You're right, because there's no... Terrorism is...
They're not trying to make anyone afraid. Terrorism is trying to make people afraid.
Right. It's not an organized effort to push a political agenda by, asymmetric means, meaning two guys walk into a fucking
and that's not
concert and start fucking shooting people.
right. And my definition of terrorism
True.
is incorrect. It's wrong. I'm going to look it up now, but I believe terrorism doesn't have to be. The unlawful use of violence and intimidation, especially against civilians, in the pursuit of political aims. So I was correct.
Now, I'd love to have a Muslim guy on our show, like when we get.
Like a good Muslim?
Well,
Like Ahmad Rashad or somebody?
Well, I'd like to get
Sinbad?
somebody that doesn't want to blow people up.
Mike
But
Tyson?
however, no, but somebody that can explain, okay, why, I don't understand. I'm talking out my ass if I say I understand what's going on in Holland, France, Germany, Spain. I'm talking out my ass. I hear things like, well, they don't want to assimilate. The people of Muslim faith come in and they want to keep their own group and they don't want to assimilate.
They want to have Sharia law.
But I don't know whether that's fucking true.
Well, we got Dearborn, Michigan, where apparently it's fucking true.
But now I've seen in Great Britain, I've seen very angry, hate-preaching imams
Knife-wielding fucking followers.
telling
and shit.
people to go fucking strap on a suicide vest.
Right.
I spoke to some people that live in France half the year.
Oh, okay.
This was at my buddy Ira's house. Grab me that
Sure.
paper towel over there, would you?
Yeah,
Killer?
buddy.
And an FB.
All right.
So
Ira and the fucking French people.
Ira's got a friend that he went to graduate school with who married a French woman. So they've lived in the UK, they've lived in France, and his youngest daughter, went to school in France. And this was 2 years ago, say, and I had this type of conversation, and I'm like, so what's going on with the, is any of this Muslim shit true, or is it just all hype? Is it just shit that we're hearing here that, lunatic people on the right are trying to stir up trouble? And the honest answer is, she said, there's really not like places where you can never go. Just places where you don't want to go, like at night,
Right.
that are primarily Muslim. But France, look, France is what? They've been running Algiers. Do they still run Algiers?
I don't think so. I don't think there's any more African colonization from Belgium or France. I could be wrong. But
There's been people of Muslim, and I'm saying this wrong, Arab descent, who are Muslims. That's the correct way to say it.
right.
Who live in France, and what this girl, who's 23 years old, or was 23 at the time, says the French have not done a very good job of welcoming the French are snot-nosed fucks. There's a lot of truth to that.
Yeah.
And not every French person is a snot-nosed fuck, but Parisians tend to be. So they don't want to assimilate with these people. So that's part of the problem. So they don't have the economic wherewithal or the economic, you take any group of people, and we have it in our African American communities in the United States, where if you tell, if somebody has no work and they can't make a living and they can't feed their kids, they're going to resort to something else. They're going to sell drugs. They're going to fucking steal. And I would.
Yeah, I have.
So that's what you're, so there's some of that going on.
Yeah.
And she was very careful to, she said there's some of that going on, but it's if I get on a subway train and there are Arab men, and it's, say, at night, and there are, say, 6 of them, and it's me and some other people, and I'm wearing like a shirt, an outfit to go out.
You wearing your best Hebe Hebenstein shirt. Oh, no.
Then she says I'm called a whore and a pig, and and all kinds of horrible things are said to her, and she says that happens routinely.
See, that's bullshit.
And that's because
I'd be getting in a lot of
women that are
fights.
not whatever the dress they're supposed to have. I mean, women are, if they're trouncing around in a short skirt and high heels, and
Or you can see their
dolled
ankles
up
or their
like a
toes.
whore.
Or you can just see their toes.
then, and I just said if they're dolled up like a whore, then I don't know. Then they start calling them a whore, and like, oh, why don't you fuck us all out? And so I guess there's that kind of shit going on. But look, there must be something going on if the people of Holland elected somebody who wants to get rid of them.
Yeah.
There's got to be something to it. There's got to be something to it, because one of the major things about Brexit is that you have the EU was telling each country how many refugees they had to take.
Yeah.
And the people that voted for Brexit, and I don't know whether they're happy. I don't know how that's going. But they're like, no more of this bullshit.
Britain,
These people are fucked.
Britain and Ireland got enough of their own gypsy fucking
Caravan.
thing going on, of people who fucking are from there and have always been gypsies. They don't want more gypsies. Because
Well, and
they're a
there's
fucking
also
nightmare.
a fear that, the UK is different than the United States. The UK isn't the great melting pot. The UK is filled up with British people.
Yeah, yeah.
And they
With-
want to remain British.
With what is the deal with the dentition? Is it? I wonder if it's the way they're fucking, the way they speak the language, the way their mouth forms makes their teeth fucked up. But it's just weird. If you are a English sounding person from England,
You got
your
bad
your
teeth?
teeth are all fucked up, man. And
So-
it's just the way it is.
I don't know. I don't know what the answer is.
It's kind of like if you're.
I'm throwing it out there.
Go ahead.
And if there's somebody that wants to send a message and explain why this is, it could be, this could be a lot of xenophobia. It could be a lot of fucking racism as well. I mean, it could be we just don't want fucking brown people in our country. I'm sure that there's a lot of that shit going on. But
I don't know, man.
I don't think it's all that. And
I think most people are not on the dole and fucking wouldn't mind being on the dole. And they just get crazy if someone comes in and is on the dole. They hate that. They fucking hate it.
But most of these people come in, and immigrants tend to be very hardworking.
A lot of them, but not the illegal ones. I don't know why.
I don't think that's true.
Yeah, you're right about that.
I don't think
I'll
that's
tell you
true.
what, man. We got some guys. I'm not sure they are fucking properly papered, man. Although we just let a bunch of people go, too.
Oh, you mean at the company?
Yeah. I mean,
well,
I guess I shouldn't be saying that out loud, but nobody knows where I work. I kind of want to get fired anyway, so fuck it.
The thing is, I look, if the country decides that they don't want a border anymore on the southern part of the country, I guess that'll be the way it is. But I don't understand that.
No.
I don't understand how. Don't you kind of want to know who's coming in? I mean, you don't want somebody to come in from Honduras who was let out of jail, who's a fucking serial rapist, do you?
Yeah, well, that's impeding on his right to privacy, Joe. Don't you know that?
Now, splitting these
Oh, yeah,
kids
that's
up,
right. He's not a citizen. He doesn't have a right. Nobody has a right to privacy, by the way.
Splitting these kids up was a stupid thing, but apparently this has been going on
forever.
This was going on under Obama.
Never mind Obama. It went on under fucking W. It went on under Clinton. It went on under HW. It went on under Reagan. It went on under Carter.
Whatever
Ford,
happened,
Nixon,
somehow they
Kennedy,
lost the fucking
Johnson.
They don't know who the parents are anymore. So the parents are looking for the kids, and the kids are looking for the parents, and that's a fucking.
That's kind of a horror show.
That's a horror show to do to
But
anybody.
you know what? Don't bring your kid to the border then. Illegally. You fucking idiot. Just go about it the way you're supposed to go about it. You can't.
And I'm telling all you, if there's any liberals, and
most of our fucking listeners are liberals.
Getting away from this. You're not a liberal. You are a lunatic lefty.
Yeah.
You're not a Democrat. If you're one of these lunatics,
you're
not a liberal.
You know what I like? I hate that word progressive.
Progressive is a good word.
It's a great word, but they're not progressive. But they're not progressive. They're idiots.
No, they consider not having a border progress. If you consider not having a border progress, then you can call yourself a progressive, I guess.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
If the electorate comes together and however it and decides that the Constitution should no longer be and the amendments should no longer be the law of the land, then
how about ripping something with a heartbeat out of somebody's womb? You know what I mean?
Well,
is that progressive? Is that progress, Joe? And you know me. I'm fine with abortion.
The abortion
I'm good with
thing
it.
Is just.
But listen,
I don't fucking care.
If I generally don't either, but it's everyone involved in it on both sides are hypocrites. If you get worked up about it, now we don't get worked up about it. I'm gonna get a little worked up about it right now. Fucking, when your heart stops beating, you are declared fucking dead.
Yes.
All right. So how is it that something with a heartbeat can get ripped the fuck out and it's not considered fucking murder? That has a heartbeat.
Because...
And you know me, I'm a big fan of abortion.
Well, we're not fans of abortion.
Well,
I don't think anybody...
Post-birth abortion.
I don't think anybody... Yes, I'm more of a fan of post-birth abortion. However...
By the way, we're not, because we're both anti-death penalty.
I can't believe anybody's a fan. Like, there's no woman going to get an abortion who's fucking proud.
Who's happy? There's a couple.
And
probably 1 in 100 of them.
You're a sick fuck.
I bet you a few of them are tickle pink they're getting an abortion.
But...
Again. Some more.
The argument that I've heard is basically is that, well, this fetus can't live outside of this person's body. So therefore, this person doesn't have to take care of this unwanted thing in her body.
Right.
And therefore, she has the right to terminate that,
Life.
well, whatever it is.
That pregnancy.
You can't call it a life. You have to call it,
It has a heartbeat, Joe.
call it a fetus.
It's living.
Well, and that's why
We've had this exact same conversation, except I'm being you and you're being me. It's the best. That's why abortion's the best.
Well, I know because,
Fucking weird issue, man.
well, let's face it. What are you doing? You're killing a child.
And yeah, that's what that was the position I was just taking. You're killing a child.
Yeah, there's no question.
And I'm okay with that.
I'm fine.
I'm fine too.
It's your kid,
Yeah.
and I'd rather have you go and get an abortion
Right.
than have a kid that nobody wants.
Is that progress, killing a kid in the womb?
No.
Yeah, so there it is. Progressives think that that's progress.
I mean, man, I don't think this is
It's
something
not
you
progress.
want to fucking spread.
Yeah.
I don't want.
It's not progress.
I don't want to be in the state of Massachusetts and have 500 abortion clinics.
That was my greater point. It's not progress. And you're not a progressive. And I'm not a progressive. I'm a Neanderthal. You know
no,
what
but
I
I mean, no. What do you mean we're not progressives? I mean, technology moving along. That's progress.
I'm not
learning-
anti-abortion is what I'm saying.
Having
I'm just
new-
not anti-abortion.
I'm not anti-abortion either.
No. But it's not, abortion's not progress.
The people that are on,
They get a, you know,
and I'm not talking about this. What is it? The Southborough Baptist Church, because they're a little flaky.
Westboro.
Westboro?
Yep. Oh, the God hates fags guys.
Yeah, I mean, and all the
That's what they call themselves, by the way.
and the people go and they protest dead soldiers because we shouldn't be killing
They
people.
go to dead soldiers' funerals and say, the reason why you're dead is because America tolerates fags. That's why. God did that
Yeah.
to you.
So they're out of their mind.
They're fucking crazy and they're evil.
But
They're
there
evil
are-
with a capital E.
There are people that believe that you are murdering a child.
Yeah.
And if you really believe you're murdering a child, of course you're going to be fucking upset.
Listen, I think they're murdering a child, and I'm not that upset about it. So I don't know. Who's worse, them or me?
I don't know.
You know. That's why it's a crazy, crazy issue. It's multi-layered. You know what I mean?
But there's no understanding.
And by the way, it's never getting overturned. Roe v. Wade is settled law.
See, you can never have this conversation with somebody that's on the crazy left.
Yeah.
Because just having the conversation
Makes them tremble.
Well, no, they're gonna fucking crucify you to have the conversation because
Why?
they can't talk about it. Well, because just talking about it means that you're asking
Considering it.
questions. You know what I mean?
No, they're the ones who are asking questions.
We would be called horrible anti-abortionists by just having this conversation.
By saying that it'll never be revisited?
Just by talking about it. By saying things like, are we killing is it killing something?
Yeah, it is. And I'm okay with that.
It's killing something that wouldn't survive outside of that person's body.
Well, there have been children who were born. So abortion is what? You can only do it in the first trimester legally?
I'm thinking that
Or is it first two trimesters? No, first trimester.
it's been a long time since I
Brushed up on abortion law?
right, and I don't know
I think it's first trimester.
first two. Believe you can do it in the first two.
All right. Well, so there are plenty. My brother being one of them. He was born during the second trimester. Dave, that fucking huge fucking hunk of meat who was at that party.
Yeah.
My boy weighed like 2 pounds, and he was born 5 months and something. Paul and Dave were both born in 1970, but Dave was not a full gestated baby. You know what I mean? She didn't get.
So he had like undeveloped lungs, and he
Oh,
had to
yeah.
be put in a fucking machine.
Oh yeah,
I got you.
he didn't come home for a while.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And look at him.
Yeah.
He's the very definition of a strapping individual.
Yeah.
That's a whole lot of man right there.
So
And he'll eat you.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Look, I don't know. It's an issue.
Hi, Dave. I love you. Great show the other day, baby. Good
These
job.
people, I don't know. I just think they're fucking crazy.
I know you weighed more than 2 pounds. I'm hyperbolizing for the show.
They're crazy, and I don't even know what they want. You know, it's because they're so irrational.
Yeah, what they want is to
They're
be
irrational and they're illogical.
What they want is to never hear the word no. That's what they don't want to hear the word no. You can't say no to them.
Well, any this thing like.
Yet
Look,
they can say no.
This woman came out and said that this guy molested her when she was in high school.
Right.
Okay.
That's what she said.
And everyone should be believed. Yes,
Yeah.
they should.
Yeah, sure.
We're in
Corroborate the
agreement.
story and we'll figure it out.
So we heard her.
Yep.
And then they did an investigation.
Again.
And she's so unfucking credible and has zero corroboration from anyone.
She's
So
downright incredible.
She was listened to.
Non-credible, Alan.
So she's absolutely non-credible.
Yeah.
Compared to this guy who's had a 26-year career being...
He's a legal rock star is what he is.
So...
Oh, by the way...
She loses.
If
you've got one person saying that he did it and the other person saying he didn't do it and you have nothing to corroborate with and your own story is all fucked up and all over the place, then you lose.
Right.
That's the way it works in court. If she tried to bring these were charges she was trying to bring from 2 years ago that he raped her, she would lose.
Right.
But none of these fucking wackos, including this dumb cunt who doesn't know what to tell her daughters.
Oh, boy.
I think what you should do is you should tell your daughters that you're no longer going to be their mother because you're a fucking moron.
Right.
And you should give your children up for adoption so they're not raised by an imbecile like you. You fucking... What's her name again? Jennifer Weiner.
By the way...
Jennifer Weiner from the New York Times. Explain to your daughters that you're going to give them up for adoption because you're not qualified to be a fucking parent because you're a cunt.
Right.
You're too dumb to operate in the real world.
Oh, man. I can't even see it. When I said rock star, it reminded me that there's a brief 10-second film of fucking Lindsey Graham walking back to his fucking limo or whatever. He doesn't have, they all got SUVs now. And it was in slow motion, and they did it to the fucking the Saturday Night Live soundtrack. Well, you can tell by the way I do my walk. I'm a woman's man. No time to talk. And it was perfect. Lindsey is a fucking rock star right now.
Lindsey
is a gay man, by the way.
Yeah.
That's okay.
He just hasn't found the right woman.
Right. Like him and Liberace and Richard Simmons, all them people.
When he finds the right woman, he'll be all set.
Yeah, right.
Hey.
Go ahead.
None of this shit that we're talking about matters because in 11 years...
Go ahead. I'll be dead. Go ahead.
The planet...
Oh, we'll be done.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I did see something along that line.
In 11 years, apparently 16,000 scientists signed on. There's going to be floods and hurricanes and fucking tornadoes and tidal waves and the fucking life as we know it on this planet is going to end.
Didn't they say that about 11 years ago?
They'll be saying it in 11 years.
Again, for 11 years, right?
11 years.
Now, Al Gore isn't involved in any of this, is he?
I was listening to NPR on the way back from the job today because that's what I got and they were talking about... Well, first, I was listening to Jim and Marjorie the other day, and they had some...
Oh, I haven't listened to them forever.
Some fucking dickhead, but he's a public official from Boston saying that we're going to make Boston climate neutral or carbon neutral. Meanwhile...
Sorry, man.
Meanwhile,
sorry, buddy.
The power plant that generates all the electricity that's in fucking Everett that you can see from Boston.
Everett.
That's pumping out fucking greenhouse gases like crazy.
Right.
To keep all the lights on in Boston. Well, Everett's not going to be carbon neutral.
Well, obviously.
Well, why doesn't anybody say to these people, if you're carbon neutral, but nobody around you is, then you're doing nothing for climate change?
Well, that's what Trump's point was pulling out of that all that fucking.
Do you know we're selling? There's a boom going on in coal.
Yeah,
we're selling to the Chinese.
To the Chinese because they and they're building more coal plants as
right.
well.
So
we're
shutting down coal plants in the United States.
They're building plants to burn American coal.
Right.
Yeah. And their own coal, but they're going to have some plants that have exclusively American coal burning there.
So
to make
we're going to ship that over to China. Now, to all you climate change people.
Yeah, climate change is okay.
Is climate change happening in China too?
Oh, I'm pretty sure the climate is fucking changed over there, man.
Does climate cross the ocean?
I mean, it's
probably
coming from there to
don't
over
they
here.
Call it global climate change?
Global warming.
Well, now it's climate change.
Yeah, we call it climate change here on Kinda Right. And we're okay with climate change.
But is it global climate change?
It is, of course. What's the point?
Well, if it all mixes together.
Yeah.
So maybe there's a delay by selling them all the coal. It's just fucking maddening.
Yeah, no, it's okay for China to do it, but we can't do it.
Here's what
That's
this guy said, and I don't know what kind of official he was, but what they're going to do is they're going to make sure all the new buildings are carbon fucking neutral. So that just means, so you probably have guys putting guns in their mouth because they own fucking land in Boston.
Isn't there carbon in steel?
Well, there's carbon in pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Carbon's like one of the most...
So how is it a carbon-free fucking building?
Well, I mean, Boston's not going to...
Not looking to
Boston's not going to emit any carbon dioxide.
How?
No, I don't.
What, are we all going to have electric cars? Oh, by the way, it was weird. I was next to an electric car, a big electric car yesterday. Have you been next to like a full-size electric car? I'm sure it's a hybrid, like you can run it on electric or gas.
Yeah.
But this thing was running on just electric. I had the window down because I had the truck, and the truck doesn't have AC. And it was weird. It literally sounded like a fucking golf cart, and it was like a full-sized SUV. It was fucking wacky.
What type? Do you know?
I tried to look. I don't think it was a Toyota. I think it was an Infiniti. It was a nicer car. Yeah, it was an Infiniti. Some kind of Infiniti SUV.
They got hybrids.
That thing was not running on gas. And it was at the lights, if you can picture, coming north, at the lights at Court Street and 44 at Samoset Street, where if you turn left, you're going Samoset Street back up this way. So I was headed north in the right to my pad in Kingston, and this person was going left up Samoset Street, and it was not burning any fuel. It was running totally on some battery. Well, it's pretty interesting.
I like today there was a guy from somewhere on NPR saying that if climate change isn't your number one priority, then
you're a Philistine.
You're just not with it. And I'm thinking,
I so don't care about climate change.
The guy,
I just don't.
You ever see that show? It was called Shipwreckers, and this happens in India where they take all the ships. Like if you're gonna decommission a ship in the United States, you have to take every fucking fluid out of it. You got to take you got to take
same with planes.
The paint off of it. You got to fucking clean it.
Because you're not throwing it in the
insulation and shit. And then you can take it out and sink it. In India, they get the thing going about fucking 30. They drive it up onto the beach. The water is fucking filled with, oil and diesel fuel.
And then they scrap it.
And they have guys in there with cutting torches. And if you die, there's a guy ready to take your place.
So they're recycling the steel, is what you're saying?
Yeah, it's a scrapyard. But I mean, it's like fucking hell. You know what I mean?
It sounds like hell, actually. Can you imagine one of them tankers were fucking
and they
banked on a beach?
This was like a documentary, and it focused on like a guy and his son.
Okay.
And they were living in like this hut made out of cardboard and various other things.
Corrugated steel.
And I thought of them on the ride as this fucking asshole was saying that if you don't, so I'm thinking of this kid who's like wondering whether he's going to get something to eat that evening. And I'm thinking, like, what an asshole that kid is for not thinking about climate change.
And again, this is first world problems because the rest of the world doesn't give a fuck.
I'd love to punch this guy in the fucking face.
Right in the throat. Right in the Adam's apple.
Just you fucking arrogant, privileged,
if you hit him in the face,
cunt.
he'll be able to speak again. If you hit him in the throat, he won't even be able to moan. You know what I mean? You won't ever hear him again.
I'd like to see a lot of these people die.
I know you would, Joe. You've been saying it a lot, and I believe you, buddy.
They're terrible.
Yeah. Again.
That Indian kid. Now, this guy comes from privilege, obviously.
Well, clearly.
Probably because his fucking great-great-grandfather owned a couple of coal plants. And that's where they got their money.
Right.
So now he can walk around and say things like, if you're not thinking about climate change as the most important thing on this planet right now, then you're very much out of touch.
And I'm sorry, I know you already said it. This dude, was this written or on a show you saw?
This was today on the way home.
And is this someone who is, would they call themselves a climatologist, or what are they?
He was hooked into some university somewhere. But
so he's an academic. He's an academic.
He's just a dick.
Yeah. He's a professor. All right.
I don't
he
know.
Could be anything.
He was just a fucking dick.
An environmentalist.
A cunt.
Ecologist.
No, environmentalist.
Ecologist.
Depends on what you're trying to do.
My God. All these people with a purpose. My only purpose is to pay rent and fucking eat and drink.
I swear. And they have to, I swear they're out. They found this as like, they don't believe in any God. They don't believe in any, this is their purpose. I think you said it right. They found a purpose.
Yeah, man.
This is my calling.
I've never found that. My calling is to wake up tomorrow. You know what I mean? And do it again. That's it. And maybe that's bad. I don't know.
No, I don't think that's bad.
You know me. I started the show saying that I was feeling introspective, and I'm not feeling introspective to that point. You know what I mean? I'm fine. You know what I mean? What I do is I'm just constantly worrying about everybody else too much right now. And you know what I mean? I just worry.
Written by Eugene Robinson.
Hi, Eugene.
New climate report reveals planetary horror.
Former Green Bay Packer cornerback, Eugene Robinson?
I don't know.
Somehow I'm thinking not.
I don't think so.
So that dude got caught doing crack and banging hookers the night before the Super Bowl.
I don't think this is Eugene.
It's not that Eugene. I mean, not that makes you a bad guy, Gene. You know what I mean?
No.
A lot of guys in your position were smoking crack and fucking, banging hookers the night before the Super Bowl. Why wouldn't you? You know what I mean? It's just the biggest night of your life coming up the next night. But
climate change, by the way, is all President Trump's fault, by the way.
Yeah, because...
You understand that?
Yeah, of course, because he's been a steel-buying motherfucker for 40 years.
Well, no, Barack Obama, who did amazing things for climate change.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Great. He
amazing.
Signed the Paris Accords, didn't he? He signed them. That right there.
I believe that there might be 2 or 3 molecules less carbon dioxide in the air after 8 years of Barack Obama.
Yeah. Sure.
Maybe 2 molecules.
Enough.
So, but now it's all Trump's fault.
Well, he's the fucking, persona non grata du jour for. By the way,
they don't like him because he's not a wine drinking.
I gotta tell you,
snot-nosed fucking asshole.
He's not anything drinking. By the way,
he doesn't drink anything.
Clearly, he likes his junk food. That's fine. He's got the greatest doctors in the world. He had the greatest doctors in the world already. Well, now that he's the president, he's got more of them.
Did you see some of that? Because they had that trade.
It's the greatest president in the history of the United States.
Did you see the trade thing? And he was having a press conference.
Yeah.
And this douchebag in the back got the microphone. Now, he was answering questions about Kavanaugh, but she got the microphone.
Oh,
I don't know who she was.
Yeah.
But she was somebody he did not like.
Yeah, no.
And she said, well, do you believe Brett Kavanaugh? And he said, do you have a question about trade? And he kept cutting her off.
Right.
I said, I'm not answering. Well, you answered question. I said, I'm not answering. Do you have a question about trade? If you don't have a question about trade, and then he goes, I believe he said this. I could be just wishing that he did. He said, go get the microphone from her. So
Right.
she was some fucking obviously hatchet job douchebag who probably has fucking written false shit about him. Hey, what's going on with the fucking collusion, Al?
Which collusion, buddy?
The Russian collusion.
It's dying a painful death. And Rod Rosenstein and the boss had a meeting. Yesterday was Monday. They finally had the meeting yesterday.
Does anybody know what happened?
Yeah.
I believe he probably said some really nasty shit to
You know what
old
Rod did? Rod got on Air Force One and accompanied him to a political rally. And they met for a half hour during the 2-3 hour flight. You know, nice of the boss to put aside a half hour for old Rod, who's probably sweating. And
Rod's probably thinking he's going to be thrown out of the plane.
No, and they exited, and Rod said, "Listen, I never fucking said I wanted to invoke the 25th Amendment. That's what I told the president. The president and I are getting along fine." And the president, the great Donald J. Trump, said that I'd never had a chance to sit down with Rod before. I didn't know him before. I know him now. I like him. And
he is a charming guy.
Of course I'm not going to fire him, type of thing. You know what I mean? Plus, it would be a bad move because if he fires him, he doesn't need to fire him November 9th. He can fire him. Elections in November 8th.
I think he's got to wait. He's probably got to wait until the Mueller investigation winds down, and then he can can his ass.
Well, here's the thing. That fucking thing's never winding down. It's never winding down.
You know, Trump's thing is this.
It's going to keep going without a finding because there's nothing to find.
He loves a good fight. Loves it. And one of the things that he said...
He basically pat Rod Rosenstein on his head.
Well, because he loves a good fight. And what he used to do is he always won. He'd beat the shit out of these people. And then he'd go, you were pretty fucking tough. And then he'd hire him.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, a team of rivals, that's called. Like the great Abraham Lincoln.
He recognized, because he doesn't really take it all that, and I know this is, to the liberal scumbags, they'll go crazy, but it's not like he's not sitting in his bed stewing about what one of these assholes is saying.
No, he doesn't give a fuck.
He sits there and something will come in.
And he figures out
from
a way
some
to
dick,
destroy
and
them.
then he tweet something like, and your wife fucking
is a cunt.
Sucked.
She
dick. Was sucking cock for gas at the gas station.
So I mentioned Abraham Lincoln.
And everybody says, "Oh, he's so petty and he gets so," and it's like, no, he's just having fun.
Yeah. Speaking of Abraham Lincoln, this whole thing with Trump and Kavanaugh, fucking Democrats haven't been this upset since Abraham Lincoln ended slavery for them. Since he took all the Democrats' slaves away.
I think we're...
Hillary.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
Dan, Lisa, Diane, Anthony.
That is so funny. Well...
You know what I'm saying.
Listen, I got to go see my dog.
It's all right. We got a non-stop fucking hour and 10 minutes in. I'm good with that, buddy.
I'm tired.
It's content.
I got
EpiPens. I wrote down the
shoulder.
word EpiPens. It kind of looks like penis scrambled. Go ahead. What?
I think I have to have another operation on this shoulder.
Oh no. Well, then you got to go to the doctor. Talk about your shoulder and talk about your lightheadedness, will you? Just get it looked at. By the way, you're gonna be fine. Even if you ignore it, you'll be fine.
I'm not worried about it at all.
I don't like the bending over and getting lightheaded thing, only because it's happened to me before, and that's when I was real heavy. Like now it doesn't happen, but when I was super heavy, so I know that's got to be a heart congestion type situation.
Well, they took
and you're not fat, but
5 of Lola's teeth out.
Oh, poor
Did
Lolo.
you hear?
I was out there. I heard the rundown. The
for
post.
$800.
Oh, I heard that too, and that's when I walked away. I was like, oh no. It's like Lola is a fucking lovely animal. There are fucking pedigree dogs that you can buy just off their mother's tit for less than $800.
You know,
This is a
we
lifetime
don't mind
investment.
spending the money. I thought it was going to be $500,
Which in
like
itself is
$100
outrageous.
a tooth.
Yeah, sure. That's
pretty good.
outrageous.
I mean,
$800
These
for 5
fucking
teeth.
vets
That's a
are-
lot like $4,000 an hour. You know what I mean? He did it in less than 15 minutes, I'm sure.
it's a lot easier than taking a human's tooth.
Oh, is it? Thought it was harder.
Well, they just put the dog to sleep, pull her fucking teeth out.
Well, they put people to sleep too, except for me. When I get my teeth pulled, I'm wide awake.
Dogs have much smaller teeth. You know, I think they'd knock her out, do a few x-rays, say, yeah, these are rotted, pull them out.
just take them right out.
And
Yeah, no, literally, when
to
I had
go.
my wisdom teeth out, the dude had his knee on my chest while he was pulling it. It was impacted, but it had been abscessed and infected, and
Yeah,
he put
I
me
had
on.
one of those.
He put me on antibiotics, and then when the infection cleared, he had to go get it, but he had to cut into the gum. And he's like, "You sure you don't want to be knocked out?" I'm like, "Nah, pretty sure I don't want to be knocked out. Just give me Novocaine." And I just went like this. And he did it, but it was wacky, man. He was literally at his knee on with some kind of fucking wrench on my fucking mouth.
did he
you know
come
what I
out
mean?
with like a tooth the size of a fucking...
It was
like
fucking
a
wacky. Yeah,
Tyrannosaurus
yeah, it
tooth.
was like that. It was literally
Yeah.
like that.
It's got like a 3-inch root on it.
He's like, "You want to keep it?" I'm like, "No." No, I don't want
One
to
end
keep
of the
it.
root was tickling your brain.
And the other, my fucking sphincter. You know what I mean? So anyway, my name is Al. Across the table
Mine's
from me is
Joe.
that's Joe over there. You've just heard show 81 of Kinda Right. We're marching.
Show 81.
We're marching towards our fucking 100th.
We'll get there, Al.
And
I'm not canceling Thursday.
I got a feeling we're going to take less time off in the next year than we did. So we will get to 200. We're going to get to 200. And we'll probably do a couple of... you know what? I'm thinking we're going to try one weekend a month, Joe. And without telling you. I know I'm telling you now.
Well,
But I'm thinking maybe we'll
it's
throw
kinda-
in a third show a week once a month.
It's up to you because you have a very busy
I
schedule.
do. It's up to you, too, because
Okay.
you like your downtime on the weekends with the great,
But you know
beautiful
something?
Patty.
If we can do like an hour,
Yeah, just an hour.
if we don't have to shoot for 2,
Listen, if we can do an hour 3 times a week, how fucking dope would that
and I'm
be?
going to keep doing my... I got 10 clips out of show 13.
Dude, amazing. You're doing really good
still
work.
have...
You cross over any of the clips that I did? Because I did clips for a while, but I didn't fucking cull as much as you did.
I don't know.
You know what? I think I stopped after show 10, and you picked it up.
I think I'm going to jump around a little. I think I'm going to go
It's
to
not a
like
bad idea.
show 20.
It's not a bad idea. Just keep track. Just keep track.
I don't know how I'm going to do that.
You just write it down.
Well, you know what? I'll put the date on the folder.
Just go through the whole. Make sure if you do jump to show 22 or whatever,
No, I do that.
listen
You
to the
gotta go
whole
through the
thing.
whole show.
Right, and then check it off,
And I pull as
and then
many
go back to
clips as
14
I
or
can
whatever.
get. And,
That's not a bad idea, by the way.
And then you just jump. So it's
You
not.
could do all the 4s. Do 14,
so it's
24,
not
34,
like,
44.
It doesn't follow the news. You know what I mean?
It's not a bad idea.
So I'm thinking of doing that.
'Cause
So after
listen.
after 13, I'll probably maybe go to 20. And
I do
then
like the
shoot.
fact that some of this shit is like
Jump around.
it's a year old, and it's like you listen back and you go,
That was pretty funny.
that was funny, but it was also
I also put up stuff that's still topical.
yeah,
too.
yeah. Topical was the word I was just to get into.
Right.
It's like it's funny. A year goes by quickly,
Sure does.
and we did the whole men behaving badly thing a lot, and it comes up once in a while.
I got one.
But
of
that's the shit that's
where
so funny.
we were behaving badly
About what?
because we were both talking about, Jesus, did we any do? I think I groped.
Oh yeah,
I remember
no.
I groped a girl.
We
in
did that
college.
twice. Yeah, no, we revisited that twice. And I know for a fact. I didn't grope anybody, but I said some
Yeah,
really
you-
suggestive shit to somebody that I feel really
That wasn't
badly
that
about.
suggestive.
No, you know what? That's funny.
Hindsight, it
It's
was-
funny you brought it up. I thought about it either yesterday or today again.
Pretty
I was
mild.
like, oh my God, I can't believe I asked Lori, what's her name, if I could lick her pussy.
But then
You know
again,
what I mean?
It's not like you held her down and
It's-
licked her pussy.
listen, it's
You
not-
asked.
It's not like I fucking forced her to suck my dick. I was totally willing
I wonder how
to
the-
worship her pussy for her.
Is that part of the Me Too thing? If you ask someone to eat their
I
pussy,
think so. I think I would come under that fucking heading
But
of
you asked.
a meat. Yeah, I didn't say I'm going to. Did I
Right.
say can I or did I say I want to? I said I want to. That's different than saying can I. No, that's almost as sweet. It might be sweeter.
I think it's still a question.
Here's the thing. If she wanted me to, she would have let me.
Right.
So it was a coin flip. It was a coin flip. You know what I mean?
I think she got a little out of control.
No, she hates me for life.
Ah, fuck her.
I wish you know what she has the last name, same spelling as our newest Supreme Court Justice. Now that I'm thinking about it. That might be his sister or something.
Could be.
That's weird.
Maybe he ate her pussy and that's why she doesn't like it.
I don't think so. I don't think he was eating anyone's pussy. All right.
Good night.
Good night, Joe. See you Thursday, pal.